Hey squad, Sykes here and welcome back to InstallationX. In this video I'm going to be breaking down the key details from all the games that were shown at the recent Xbox Developer Direct, plus my overall thoughts on the presentation and formatting of the show. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like, head over to InstallationX and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications of future uploads. Let's jump in. So the first game that we got to see was Minceraft Legends from Mojang Studios, which has now been confirmed to be released on April the 18th. And what we got to see mainly from Mojang was the PvP multiplayer mode. So the PvP multiplayer mode is going to have two teams, so it's going to be 4v4, and the idea is that you are destroying your opponent's team space with the online matchmaking and crossplay features fully enabled for the mode. Basically you're going to share an army and resources with your team, which means that you can take up different roles as you are playing the game. So someone can be collecting resources, someone can be building, someone can be going after the enemy base, so it's all quite flexible and fluid between the roles that you want to play. Each of the maps or the worlds is procedurally generated, just like Minecraft has in the past and the campaign mode will be. So every PvP session is going to have slight differences and variability when you jump in, which is really neat. It's going to keep things fresh. The piglins are also going to be present. So if you don't know who the piglins are basically the big kind of antagonists of the campaign in Minecraft Legends, and they are going to be in the mode as a PvE threat, so I imagine you'll just be able to farm them up for resources, XP, whatever it may be. But they were also going to be actively attacking both teams as well, so they're not just going to be there for you to statically farm, they're going to be another threat on the battlefield that you're going to have to contend with. You can explore the world to find resources, treasure chests, scout the enemy base. You can also pick up mounts as well by using some of the mobs. And they showed the Regal Tiger again, which looks really cool. You can build defenses and you can also upgrade your base. So you can build walls, you can build towers, gates. We've got to see some really cool new, really out-of-the-box features involving the Minecraft formula. So we've got to see a redstone launcher, an anti-siege tower, for example. And it looks like the mobs that you're going to be able to create to make your army are going to be very unique as well. We've got lots of different golems and all sorts. So overall, the mode is looking really kind of fresh, new, interesting. And it's a real spin on the Minecraft formula from what we've already come to know. Like Minecraft Dungeons went a little bit of a way of kind of changing things up, but it still felt quite familiar. Whereas this is seemingly very different to what we've had in the past. So Minecraft Legends will be launching on April 18th. We're going to be going to Game Pass Day 1 as well. I'm very excited for that one. The next game that was then shown was Forza Motorsport, which is coming from Turn 10. Now, the real interesting thing about this, which came at the end, was that they said it was coming in 2023. So they have not confirmed a date. They've not even confirmed a release window other than it's coming this year. So that's gotten some people worried a little bit. But when they started going through everything that is going to be in the game and some of the new features that they've been adding, they have really gone to town with all of the new details and features that they've added to this game. This is going to be one of the most technologically advanced games that have been created for this gen so far. So at launch, we're going to have over 500 cars with a possible customization of over 800 upgrades. And there are going to be 100 new cars that are new to Forza Motorsport that we've not seen before. The physics system advancements that they've made in Motorsport is better or greater than Motorsport 5, 6 and 7 combined, which is pretty crazy because 7 was already pretty advanced as it was. There's materials and shaders are built from the ground up at higher resolution and optimized for ray tracing. We're going to have more realistic light response on new paint models with color, metal, flake and gloss. There's going to be dirt build-up and damage now. It's going to be more localized to the cars, so you're going to see it on more individual pieces. And it's going to feel more true to what would in reality what would happen when you take a bump in your car. It's going to be more realistic in that approach. Modifying parts on your car are going to fundamentally change how your car sounds on track, just like it would in real life. So they've really completely upgraded the audio system. They've also got new systems which include regional track announcers, improved tyre and suspension audio as well. So the audio package is getting a real buffer here. They're launching with 20 environments in total, with 5 new to Motorsport, locations that we've never seen before, and it also includes South Africa, which is Killarney, which is really cool actually, because there's been a lot of talk about Killarney, I think it is, in the F1 scene, potentially coming onto the F1 in real life, the F1 calendar, so it's going to be cool to race around there. I've been intrigued about that for a while. the features of environment include, there's loads of environmental stuff they've added in: lush trees, dense grass, overgrowth vegetation, animated track life, physics-based lighting and fog effects, and a full procedural cloud system. And I'm really looking forward to kind of the day-night cycle, because it looks like the day-night cycle, especially the difference between racing on a track during the day and on the night, is going to completely fundamentally how the game's going to play, which is really, really exciting. Each track has tens of thousands of 3D spectators, so you're going to feel more fully immersed in what is actually going on with the reality of spectators around you. All the environments are rendered in 4K 60 with real-time ray tracing, so that's a real technical thing that they're really, really pushing here. And they're also going to have a new online racing mode and car building focused single player career. So without a doubt, this is going to be a very, very in-depth game that we've kind of not seen before from Forza Motorsport, but it means that that extra time is going to be required to make sure the game is fully polished and realised. So we will be waiting a little bit longer. And then came the real awesome bit. So we got a massive surprise because Tango Gameworks were on the show, and this did leak ever so slightly before the showcase, but Tango Gameworks announced HiFi Rush, which they shadow dropped to release on the day, so it's now available right now in Game Pass, and I'm going to pick it up after finishing this video and play it, and I'm hopefully going to do a review on it because there's been a lot of buzz about it on Twitter, so I'm really excited to get started on it. So what is it? So it's a rhythm action game, and moves and attacks help create a living soundtrack throughout the game. So the more you flow with the beat, the better your attacks and your abilities will be. So it's about hitting the beat and hitting the rhythm with your attacks and strategies and all sorts. The entire world is in sync with the beat of the music. So hitting combos to the beat will create larger attack moves. You can jump, attack, dodge and parry whenever you want. It's about feeling the beat though and trying to attack it at the right moment. Your progress is not blocked if you miss the beat, but you get rewarded for staying with the beat. Everything syncs to the music, so that includes cutscenes and environmental mechanics and all sorts. So it's just one big soundtrack running through that is the whole game is reacting to, including you as the player, which is awesome. There's going to be visual cues to help support those who may not be the most rhythmic, like me. There's going to be supporting characters as well to allow for dynamic combos and over-the-top action. The story is about taking down corporate bosses, so it appears that you're going to go through a level and at the end there's going to be a real big boss battle, and that's kind of the climax of whatever that scenario will be, which looks really fun. And they are climactic set pieces that can be either straight up fights or they can be chase sequences. So this game showed really, really well, and I think it's impressed a lot of people just by seeing it, and then with people being able to see it and then get their hands on it very, very quickly, I think it's led to some really, really strong impressions amongst the community. So it's fantastic to see it, and it's a massive, massive achievement that Tango have been able to keep this quiet for as long as they have. Because apparently I've been scrolling through Twitter and they've the game's been in development since 2017, so they've kept this under wraps for like 5 years, and they've managed to keep it quiet so they could just shadow drop it, which was fantastic. So really, really pleased to see that. We then got a brief bit from Zenimax Online Studios for Elder Scrolls Online. So the new chapter, which is called Necrom, is launching on June the 20th. We got a little bit of a sizzle kind of teaser, or cuts of the teaser cinematic trailer. ESO always have the best cinematic trailers by a mile, but the full version is uploaded on YouTube, and they were doing their own event outside of the showcase. This was kind of more of a promotion for Elder Scrolls Online, which was fine because the game's doing really well on Game Pass, but we didn't get loads of new details. It's more kind of an overview of the game so far. But what they did announce was that the new chapter is called Necrom. It's introducing a new playable class called the Arcanist, which is very magic based, and the chapter will take place in Eastern Morrowind. So they're going back to Morrowind, just a different area of Morrowind, and kind of adding to that story there. And they also announced that for a limited time, all the past chapters would be free to explore, I believe for new players, but existing players as well, so if they haven't already got them. So they're trying to do a really big push of getting the next wave of people to kind of get into the game and kind of fall in love with it and stick around. But overall, wasn't too many details, but generally quite good. And then the final game that we saw was, and which was, in my opinion, the big one, was Redfall, which is coming from Arkane Austin, and they hit a firm date. They're launching on May 2nd, and they gave us lots of new details. So they talked about there's going to be loads of safe houses to speak to survivors, to resupply and accept missions. We got to have a look at a new vampire called the Shroud, which can send out lethal projectiles, can shift through the floor to avoid damage, and cover the area in darkness to disorient the player. We got to have a look at some of the vampire gods as well later on, but they can also summon something called the Rook, which appears to kind of be like a boss level vampire enforcer, which looked very kind of beefed up and kind of really threatening, which looked really cool. There's loads of encounters that are going to pop up as side quests. You can approach a mission in multiple ways, so you can either go stealth, you can kind of go tactical, or you can just go in guns a-blazing. You can investigate vampire nests that are housed inside psychic space. This was cool. So there's going to be psychic spaces around the town, and that takes you into a different reality where the vampires' nests are, and you can go in and you can destroy them. But the thing is that they're going to alter and change every time you go in and out, so there's going to be some flexibility there, which looks cool. And you destroy a nest by taking out its heart, but before you get to that point, you will then have to deal with waves of vampires, which is it looked really cool. There's going to be loads of these psychic spaces found all over the map. Outside the main story, you can take back Redfall by liberating neighborhoods. There's going to be a little bit of kind of exploring the map, controlling the map mechanic within the game. You can find safe houses to work your way up to a powerful vampire controlling the neighborhood, which is called the Siphon. And then you can then build your way up to take out underbosses to claim neighborhoods, and then once you take out those underbosses, they'll reward you with a key, which is like a skull, and then that is then going to unlock access to a vampire god. So they're going to be like these real higher tier boss battles, which is going to require some skill and planning. And they also showed off some of the customizable ability trees for each of the heroes. So, I mean, I was sold on this game anyway, but this game is looking absolutely fantastic. I'm really, really excited for what this is going to shape up in its entirety. We've kind of got, they haven't talked too much about the story so far, but we've kind of got a big overview of the game now, so I'm really excited for how that's going to pan out. And generally my thoughts on the show was it was really, really good. I really, really liked it. We've got a really exciting lineup of games for the first half of 2023. I thought the format of the show was excellent. You know, they trimmed back on the overproduced trailers and setup. It was far more grounded. The developers got to express themselves really, really well. And I really liked how it was just short, it was concise, it was key details. The developers got plenty of talk time, but they didn't over talk, they didn't spend too long talking. The pace was great as well, and it just flowed so brilliantly for, I think it was 45 minutes, and it was just over, and I was like, wow, that was really good. Yeah, the presentation was awesome. It was a great surprise to get HiFi Rush, and they need to keep this format. They don't mess around with the format. Keep the format and keep giving us, you know, a couple of these a year in and around either side of, you know, E3, which is usually the big showcase in the summer, and we're going to have lots of information, lots of things to look forward to as we go through this year and into 2024. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little bit less produced from the script side of things that I normally do, but I hope you found it okay and informative. If you did, then please make sure you leave a like, head over to InstallationX and subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications of future uploads. Let me know your thoughts on any of the games that we saw in the developer direct in the comment section. Follow myself and the channel on social media, links in the description. And as always, I'm Sykes, and for all things Xbox, stay tuned to InstallationX. Bye guys.